Oh, we got someone watching.
Oh.
It's begun.
It's Boss. Hello.
Nice. So we're just waiting for people to show up.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween. My costume looks minimum effort, but it took all 30 days to get this cultivated. So, I swear there was effort put in here.
Bosa Hall, what are you doing for Halloween?
Alright, we gotta wait like 10 seconds because there's always a delay with live
they just
streams.
have to type.
Well, no, usually with streams there's like a 5 to 10 second delay between when we do it and when they see it. Yeah, see. Happy Halloween! Yeah. Oh, we got 2.
Hello.
Tin Can Diva. Do you know who that is?
Don't remember.
Okay. Oh, we got more.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. God, seriously, your outfit looks like you put maximum effort in, and this is just me slapping on pajamas.
Tiara.
Oh, hey. Wow,
Happy
someone
Halloween.
actually joining at an unreasonable hour. It's 11:30. Go to bed, Tiara.
Yeah. Alright, so Sean, we have some people here. Wanted to tell them what we're doing?
So we're essentially just kind of doing a recap of the movies that we watched for Spooktober of 2020. We watched a different movie every single day. Some were great. Some were hot trash. And others were kind of eh. Yeah, this was a very mixed year. Like, there were some years that were just straight duds, some that were absolutely great. This was just right about in the middle.
Yeah.
Just a solid middle. I mean, like, 2020 as a whole, outside of the movies we watched, just a hot garbage fire. Rated, like, 1 out of 10. Not great. But, like, in regards specifically to the movies that we watched, it was okay.
What would you say has been our best one? Because this is our 6th one.
I'd have to, like, actively see a list because I don't have all 6 years of movies memorized and what years had which movies. So I'd have to see a list to tell you that one. But what would you say? Since I know as a fact you have them memorized.
I don't have them memorized, but I think the very first one was really good because it was movies we both really wanted to watch. Hello. And we just were having a good time. We were, I think, and there was, like, no rules. We barely had any, like, guidelines or anything.
Yeah, no, the more I think about it, yeah, it was probably, like, that first year just because the longer we've gone into this, the more and more obscure we'd have to go because, like, we started the rule of, oh, we can't watch a movie we've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been getting, like, last year we watched a movie called Lederhosen Zombies, which was interesting, but not something I'd actively search for on my own. But, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really, we're really getting into a thick of it now.
Thanks, Uncle Norris.
No, that was Craig.
Nope, that was
Norris.
Norris.
Oh, that was Norris? Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I guess thanks, Norris, and I'm sorry that I attributed that to the wrong uncle there.
Yeah. So, let's see. This is our 6th one. This is our 3rd one in Japan, which makes it a little more complicated because we have to kind of finagle our way through renting a lot of stuff. Before we would just go to a video store.
Yeah.
And now it's like we have to go between video store and Amazon and Vudu and VPNs and just pirating. We pirated
I was gonna say we
year.
should just go straight to pirating. I mean,
we did a lot this year because we watched a lot of movies that were problematic and had problematic filmmakers.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so there's a Miyazaki commercial on our TV. Oh my god, on YouTube.
Whoa, don't mention the TV. NTT might catch on to us.
No TV. We have no TV.
Yeah, what are you talking
about?
I'm
talking about the computer screen that we have. We have no TV. We're watching YouTube. Okay, so Sean, this year we watched something like...
We watched 31 movies.
No,
wait, 32, 33.
We watched 36 movies.
Yeah.
Which ones did you not like?
Which ones did I not like? Okay.
Or like go hate to not like?
So I don't think there was a movie I outright hated, but this was the first year where I actively walked out of several. And I guess, so I'm just going to go in chronological order based on what we watched. First up on that list is Ichi the Killer, or Koroshi Ichi, which, just to put it bluntly, too much rape. Like I said, I'm putting it bluntly. I would argue an excessive amount of rape. Now, obviously, the appropriate amount is 0. The appropriate amount for any movie should be 0. But they went above and beyond. Just too much. Too much. Not a fan.
I mean, did you count?
No, I didn't count, because I didn't want to look at the screen. It wasn't great.
You did not walk out of this movie.
Yes,
though.
but yeah, because
this was the first one where you threatened to.
Yeah, because that one, it's like I'd already stuck through 2/3 of it, and it's like at this point, like I'm committed to the story, and just too much of that. Not a fan. And then okay, so going through this, the next one, which I believe was the first one I just straight up walked out of, was Helter Skelter, which was the one about a woman that was obsessed with plastic surgery.
Yes.
And I think I walked out because the main character forced, like, her... No, I walked out because... No, sorry, I was right the first time. I walked out because the main character forced, like, her underling, like, her assistant and someone else to have sex in front of her, and they were both on drugs, so it was like, she was, like, forcing these people who were high on drugs to rape each other? It just, once again, too much rape. Don't like it. It
was very dark. I don't know. It's hard to say what category it falls under, but it made you very uncomfortable because you actually got really upset at first because the model had made her assistant have sex with her, which is not good. And then the model met the assistant's boyfriend. The boyfriend's really hot, and the assistant is not.
And she had sex with him.
She had sex with him right in front of the assistant while the assistant cried, but still watched, and he was super into it. And then after that, they became like playthings to the model.
Just hated it.
What was her name again?
I don't remember. Don't care. I hate that movie. Sorry, I'm going to take back my previous statement. I hate that movie. I don't like it.
Oh.
But
it's so far Sean's talked about 2 of our Japanese movies that we have watched. Every Sunday we watch a Japanese movie, Nihon Yobi.
Yeah.
Little pun. And yeah, you did not like 2 of them.
I feel like there's a consistent theme for the reason why, and I'm at this point I'm just not going to repeat it. I'll just be like, yeah, that's why I didn't.
Helter Skelter is it's based off a manga, and it's about a supermodel who is obsessed with plastic surgery, but the plastic surgeon who did her surgery makes it all terrible, and her skin starts to like come off.
Yeah, and then there was one more that I just walked out of, and it was Dead Ringers, where it was like about 2 twins who were gynecologists, and I think the reason I walked out of that one is because the 2 brothers are gynecologists.
2 brothers.
2 brothers, yeah. They're twins, and one of them is extremely high on drugs, and he is performing his job, which, as I mentioned before, is gynecology, but he's using the completely wrong tools.
He made, so it's like, I missed that because, so it's a tool that they invented, and it got made into like a prize that they won, and he was using it on this woman in a gynecological exam, and she said, "Ow, you're hurting me," and he got upset because why?
Because he said the tools are perfect. It's like the women's bodies are flawed. Either way, once again, consistent theme in the reasons why I didn't like these movies. At this point, I'm just gonna stop saying it, but just same reason. Not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan.
Yeah, you fully like left the room. I finished the movie. I didn't quite like the movie either. I think I need to rewatch it because a lot of stuff didn't make sense, which is upsetting because it's a Cronenberg movie and he makes great movies.
But yeah, no, just a consistent theme in the movies I did not like this month, and I feel like it's valid. I feel like my reasoning is valid. But yeah, so those were like the big three that are just not a fan. That
you walked out of, or like what about the ones that you fully watched and then didn't like?
So first off, Ichi the Killer, I already talked about that one. I'm done with that. And then there was one other one, which was the movie Raw, which this movie, I wholeheartedly admit, is a well-made movie, but just personally, I have some problems with it. So, the entire premise of the movie is that this girl, she goes to college, she's been a vegetarian her whole life, and then during, like, sort of like a frat-esque initiation, she's forced to eat meat. And the big plot twist is, it turns out, like, her family has, like, cannibalistic tendencies. And, like, the second she ate meat, it kind of, like, activated them. And so she and her sister are at the school, and eventually, like, the sister, she goes full cannibal and eats she eats several people. But I had two big problems with it. First and foremost, the movie initially leans extremely heavily into the frat initiation part of it, to the point where me, as a first-time viewer going into it blind, I honestly thought that, like, when the whole cannibal thing started coming up, it felt like the movie was trying to tell me that it's like, everyone in this school is cannibals, and like this is the initiation is what's causing it. And then it turned out at the end of the movie, it's like, no, it's just this one family.
So I think it's interesting you hated that aspect of it, because I thought the same thing. I was led to believe that it was all about, like, the theme was peer pressure, and that she would be forced to do all this stuff, be a cannibal with them, and become, like, Queen Cannibal. But when it started to turn more towards, like, her being isolated and having this, like, really crazy reaction to a initiation thing it's a veterinary college where they just have to eat live. No, not live. They have to eat rabbit kidney.
Rabbit kidney.
They have to eat rabbit kidney, and like they have to get covered in blood. And when it started to turn, it's like, okay, it's interesting to me why you hated. Like, you were like, I thought it was going to be this.
No, I don't hate it, I just have a problem with it. Is the movie leans hard into this one aspect, and then there is no payoff for it. And then the other thing is that, so the movie's cold open is the older sister, who's already been at the school. She jumps in front of a car to get that car to crash, and then we later realize it's because she eats them. She eats the people.
Yeah.
But then, at the end of the movie...
You can't tell it's the sister, though. You don't find out till later.
Yeah. You don't find out later till it's the sister, but, like... Anyway, the cold open is that, someone jumps from a car, the car crashes, and, like, it turns out, it's the sister that did it, so she could eat the people inside the car. But at any rate, that implies, from the very beginning, the sister is actively eating people. Like, like, this is firmly established, we can tell this is a recurring thing. But then the end of the movie, it ends with the sister eating someone, getting caught, and going to prison. But they frame it in a way that makes it feel like it's the first time she's ever done it, when it very clearly isn't. But yeah, that's just another problem I have with it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I admit, very, very well made movie, but just I have problems with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both went like, whoa, when she starts. There's a very intense scene where the sisters are
Brazilian waxing.
Yeah,
I'll rip that Band-Aid for you.
One sister is giving the other a Brazilian wax. It's like a bikini wax because she still has her underwear on. Even though it's a French film, you gotta keep the underwear on. And the sister, the one who's getting waxed, kicks her, and her finger gets cut off.
No, well, you have to mention that the older sister at the time was holding scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she gets kicked and it snips off her index finger.
And the sister passes out from the blood, and the younger sister starts eating it, chewing on it, like
a buffalo chicken wing. She just goes to town on that finger.
Wild, and we were both like, "Whoa!" It's, and I remember when we were watching it, you were like, so upset, and I was just
I didn't like it.
I was just like, you are all about zombie movies. What makes this different from a zombie movie? Where a zombie is chewing on someone.
Sentient, it's there's a very active difference between like a zombie and a cannibal.
But what about George A. Romero's zombies? You know, like in Land of the Dead, when they become more, they start to remember their old lives, and what's the big zombie's name? Big Daddy avenges them. How does that play into it for you?
It still just feels different. I don't know. It feels different.
It's definitely different. Like, I am so squeamish about zombies, and I was equally squeamish about that, but it was still great. It was a great movie.
Yeah, well made, good movie. Just I have problems with it.
So that's so funny because that was one of my top movies of the whole thing.
Yeah, just I had problems with it.
Yeah. All right.
So what movies did you not like?
I hated many of the movies this month.
Really?
This year, yeah. Which I think is just because, well, a lot of them I had just heard of and was very intrigued by, like the town that dreaded Sundown.
Yeah.
That's a typo.
Yeah.
The town that dreaded Sundown. I thought it would be fun. It was not. I hated it. I was so bored.
But I liked it, which is interesting. Continue.
And then I hated Repo, the Genetic Opera. Sorry, Leon.
I didn't watch that. Glad I didn't.
Yeah, no. It's not even. It's too bonkers, and it's terrible. However, Paris Hilton is in the movie, and she does a really great job. She does a very, very good job.
I believe you.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because, I feel like if I had seen it in high school, I probably wouldn't have liked it, but I would have been, really intrigued to see it. Because a lot of people talked about it. But it's bad. It's so bad. Do not watch. Do not watch. It's a waste of time.
Okay.
I also, I was really disappointed by Dead Ringers. I felt very confused about it. And, yeah, because, there was a lot of drug stuff that didn't make sense. And you and I don't do drugs at all, but we have a basic understanding of how they're supposed to work. And the movie, really didn't follow that, which was wild. And...
Bailey, don't you know one whole marijuana can ruin your life?
Yeah. But
marijuana.
Didn't you think it was odd how, he's having the nightmare about being connected to his brother, being a conjoined twin with his brother, to he doesn't want to dream, and then suddenly he's doing heroin.
Yeah, it was a pretty hard switch.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, I'm gonna go back to Raw for like a couple seconds.
Okay.
So, going back to Raw about the Cannibal Sisters or whatever at this college, it feels like 6 months passes in that movie. It's 1 week. It's all 1 week. But like, it feels
that was
like,
really tough.
Yeah, it feels like it happens over the span of several months. But it's like, no, it's like, it's 1 week.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Hello, Amy. Hotline my Amy. Yeah, so, those just joining, we are talking about our Spooktober movies. Happy Halloween. We're in our costumes. Say happy Halloween.
Oh, happy Halloween. I swear to God, this is not a minimum effort costume. I actually cultivated this mustache and sideburns specifically for this. So although it does look like I haphazardly slapped on pajamas and said it's good to go, this took all 31 days to do this.
Yeah.
So, I swear there was effort involved.
So we're just talking about the movies that we did not chill with this month out of all the ones we saw. So what was the one you absolutely hated? Like, hate.
Hate. Probably gonna have to go with Helter Skelter.
Yeah.
It
wasn't a good one.
Don't like it.
It wasn't a good movie. Oh, look.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect Luigi.
Yeah, thanks.
Very nice. Yeah, I hated Repo. I was really upset after watching it. And then, yeah, a lot of them were just like really run-of-the-mill. Did not like Werewolf of London. Hated The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And then, for the most part, a lot of them were just kind of like below average. The Happening.
Oh, The Happening is such a missed opportunity because it is actually a brilliant premise, and like this. So like all of the scenes and situations the characters were in were really good, but just the casting was horrific.
Yeah.
Like Mark Wahlberg as a science teacher, like that. Like
not even just like in movies they'll have like the hot actor as the science person.
Why are you putting filters on?
Be doing like, oh, I'm gonna put on glasses. I'm gonna put on glasses, and now suddenly I'm a science person. Like, we watch him go through the scientific method in his mind, like talking to himself, and it's not it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the only actor that was actually doing a good job was John Leguizamo, and he dies like 10 minutes into the movie.
He's also Luigi.
Oh yeah, in that garbage fire of a movie.
Stop. I like Super Mario Brothers.
Wow, the actors themselves hate that movie. Like that's.
I don't care.
That's something.
But no, yeah, like bad actors. Yes, Math Lady me. Yeah, bad actors. Marky Mark was bad in it. Zooey Deschanel was bad in it. Really bad dialogue. Terrible dialogue. And
good music.
I don't remember the music.
Yeah, the music was good.
But like the whole premise is that people are killing themselves, and that the theory. So what's good about the movie is it actually goes through like what it means to have a theory and have it be tested in the wild. So people are dying. They're literally like compelled to kill themselves, and no one knows why. People are trying to escape. They think it's like a terrorist, and then they're like, oh, it's something airborne, and then someone hypothesizes that it's the trees giving off pheromones and chemicals.
Well, it's all plants, Bailey. It's all
all plants. Yeah.
It's the grass. It's the shrubberies. Like it's not just the trees doing the heavy lifting there. Like you got to leave it to the tall grass.
Sorry, I thought this was Lord of the Rings.
Like, no.
And it's like it's an interesting premise. And it could have been done really well, and it's just like, yeah, this planet is dying, and if I were a tree, I'd fight back too.
Yeah.
Fuck them kids, kill them people.
It's an interestingly hard take you're taking there, but.
Aww.
Wait, what character is Marky Mark playing? Like, so I'm trying to think of recent video game series that are turning into movies. The only one that's coming up to mind, that's just I'm seeing an advert on your computer, is Assassin's Creed.
He was in a video game movie like 10 years ago. I don't know.
Anyway.
Amy, you'll need to let us know. But anyway, so like, yeah, it had a lot of potential, and a lot of these movies this year had a lot of potential.
But yeah, no, like, yeah, specifically The Happening, I want them to remake it with just a not shit cast, and I feel like it would be a genuinely good movie. Oh yeah, right, they're doing an Uncharted movie, which sorry, I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent here, but I still find it hilarious that Nathan Fillion, who was the voice of a character so Nathan Fillion, who was the voice actor in a video game called Destiny, for a character called Cade 6, couldn't make it to be the voice actor for that game because he was busy being in a fan film for the movie Uncharted, which is a video game character that's normally voiced by Nolan North. And so guess who they brought in to replace Nathan Fillion's character in Destiny? Nolan North. The person that now Nathan Fillion is. Yeah, it was hilarious that Nathan Fillion was replaced by Nolan North because Nathan Fillion was replacing Nolan North. Like it was a whole hilarious thing. Anyway, let's get back on topic.
Save that for video game. No video game Ember.
What? Get out of here.
Anyway. Anyway, yeah. So no, yeah, great premise. And that's the thing about Shyamalan's movies. Like, the last two movies of his that we watched in previous years were Signs, hated it, and The Visit, loved it. So well done.
Yeah, no, The Visit was really good. But no, that said, sorry, it's funny you mentioned Signs again because it's hilarious. My mom specifically has a vendetta against that movie because for like 6 months before the movie came out, my mom was like obsessed with real crop circles.
Oh my god!
She was. She would like look up news articles and she would read all about them. And she would talk about it like she was genuinely fascinated by it. And then she's like, oh my god, they're coming out with a movie about it. I'm so excited. And it comes out. And she's like, that didn't have anything to do with the aliens. They get defeated by water. Like, what the hell? Like, it was so great.
Whoa.
But yeah, no, so she has a hate boner for that movie. It's great.
Oh my god.
And it's completely justified, and I love it. But
dang. No, well, I guess we'll get to that later when we're talking about more of the movies from this year. No, and Amy, you're fine, don't worry. Like, we're planning on being on this for a little while, so don't worry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Signs, oh my god. But, like, Sixth Sense is great. And did you see The Village?
No, but I know the premise of it.
I loved The Village.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. But, like, his other movies...
I mean, Sixth Sense is good.
I said Sixth Sense.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What about Unbreakable?
Didn't see it.
Oh, I... Interesting. Anyway.
But, that does lead into one theme that was constantly done throughout this month. So, he did that movie Split with James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Where he plays a character who has DID, dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder. Do not call it that. That's not what it's called anymore. That is highly improper and incorrect. So
It's evolving.
A lot of the movies this month dealt with like severe mental illness, and that really kind of took me out of it for a lot of them. So like movies like Images from 1972, Kotoko, which you did not watch. But...
No, I faded in and out of it.
Yeah. But, and also, like, Repulsion from 1965. Like, a lot of horror movies deal with mental illness, and it's, like, not great. And it's, like, very damaging. And, like, Page of Madness, the silent film Japanese movie we watched, literally is set in, like, a 1920s Japanese asylum. And it's, like, boy. Yeah. But at least they were kind of treated well.
Yeah.
Like, way better compared to the other movies, but Images was great.
Images was a good movie.
Images was really good. Jake Tropila, if you ever watch this, thank you for that recommendation. So, but what is Images about?
I mean, to make an extremely, like, long or complicated story short, a woman starts suffering from...
She sees the hallucinations.
Yeah, she sees multiple hallucinations of people, and she comes to realize that if she kills the hallucinations, then they stop coming. And the problem with that is that after a certain point, she can no longer tell between what's a hallucination and what isn't.
Yeah. And
big old plot twist that everyone on the planet saw coming is when she finally thinks she killed the last...
Spoiler. Yeah.
Well, it's a spoiler for, like, a 50-year-old movie.
It's not well known, though.
Okay. But, yeah, spoiler alert for the 50-year-old movie. It turns out that when she thought she killed the last hallucination, it was her husband. Yeah. She killed her husband. Ooh!
Yeah, and the movie is, like, mostly her by herself, being very alone. But it was very, very interesting because, like, the way it's done, you feel like you also are seeing things.
Yeah.
Which is one of the few movies that, like, does that well, that we've seen.
Yeah, no, like, there were multiple instances, which is, to the movie's credit, like, it was like, wait... She was just hallucinating this, right? Oh, no, this is actually her. She was hallucinating the last bit. And it's like, there were a lot of, like, fake-outs like that. Which, it wasn't confusing. It was just more like you had to catch up. Yeah. Which was definitely to the movie's credit.
Yeah, it's very, very well done. I do recommend it. I think it's on Criterion Channel. And it is on Shudder. And, like, probably Amazon Prime. But, like, yeah, but, like, someone in the movie, like, flat out calls her a schizo. And I think that's, like, the biggest problem I've had with, like, horror movies that deal with, like, mental illness, when they actually say the name. Like, someone diagnoses someone like that, but it's, like, not accurate.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't want to watch Split. I don't need that. But yeah, and then another one was Kotoko, where this woman... Ashley! Hello! This woman is... So the whole premise is that she's a single mother. She sees in double. So you're like, oh, like, you know, it's like if she's cross-eyed or something. But no, she also sees hallucinations. So she always sees, like, two versions of a person. And it's really, really sad because she has this baby. She's the only one taking care of it. And she has all these hallucinations that she's hurting her baby. And it finally gets to the point where she has a breakdown and cries. She hasn't hurt the baby, but he gets taken away. And then she, like, slowly tries to get him back. And it's, like, heartbreaking. I cried. Like, it was not a horror movie at all. It was like, wow, if you're mentally ill and you're a mother, it's going to be even harder than just being a mother. But I thought it was a great movie. And it was by the same guy who did Tetsuo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hated that movie. Anyway, just as a side note, we currently have Halloween music lightly playing in the background. About every 30 seconds or so, it plays a screaming noise. It sounds like our neighbors downstairs, and I'm not going to lie, every every couple seconds. I'm like, should we check up on them? It's like, oh no, it's just YouTube.
It's
okay.
just YouTube.
It's just the YouTube. Sorry, I'm old anyway.
Yeah, and then but Kotoko, it's very hard to watch. Clement, my friend, did not like it.
What movie?
Kotoko.
Oh yeah.
Because there is a point where she does get her son back, but she keeps like all of her things come back, all of her hallucinations, and she hallucinates someone coming into her apartment and throwing her on the ground, and her son is sleeping, and them shooting her son in the head, and you see the head get shot. And that was the part that really upset my friend. I didn't even notice it. That's like, I was like fully invested in the movie.
You were just like, that's not my kid.
That's not my kid. Fuck them kids. Not my problem.
Stop kicking the stand.
Sorry. And, but like, and it's a heartbreaking movie. It's not a horror movie. I'm glad I watched it though. But yeah, like, yeah, but it's just, it's upsetting the way that a lot of horror movies deal with stuff like that. And I think that's one exception. I think it handles it in a way that's sympathetic. And then another one is Repulsion, 1965, by Roman Polanski, the rapist. So I pirated that shit. And you watched the first part of it. What did you think?
Well, first off, I was exhausted, so I'm just gonna wholeheartedly admit I went to bed about halfway through because it was just like following this woman who just kind of spaced out during a lot of times, and then it turned out she was like physically repulsed by anything even remotely sexual, and it was just like, oh, she probably has like trauma issues and like should probably go to a therapist for that. And so once again, I fell asleep before continuing, but I'm gonna take a wild swing and say no, she does not in fact go to a therapist for that. Does she go to a therapist for that and the movie resolves quietly?
No, it's a horror
She doesn't. Okay.
horror movie.
She
So, yeah, this woman, she's from Belgium. She lives in London. She's a manicurist. Lives with her sister, and her sister has this boyfriend, this man she's having an affair with.
I'm gonna go get mysterious purple drink.
The sister is having an affair with a married man, and she hears them having sex like every night, and it really deeply disturbs her. And the man keeps putting his toothbrush and his straight razor into her little cup in the bathroom, and it just like it triggers this whole thing, and she slowly descends into madness. And basically the Ashley says she wants some. Sean.
I mean, if y'all are willing to pay $1,000 for the flight trip, I can share some mysterious purple drink with you, but that's about the only way you're gonna get it.
Yeah, sorry, Ashley. Gotta come see us first. Yeah, so she descends into madness, and basically the synopsis of the movie is men are the worst because she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, and these men will not leave her alone. And a man literally breaks into her house like, I'm sorry, you just drive me crazy. And it's like, I don't know you. And then she kills him, and she kills another man who tries to rape her. And
sorry, but yeah. Just like, once again, fell asleep.
It's a Polanski movie.
So just hearing you describe that just reminds me of this great thing. I think it was a TikTok video where a guy just bursts into someone's house and he's just like, excuse me, ma'am, may I just have a crumb of pussy? Just like, excuse me. Like, that's what that reminds me of. Just like...
Can I just have a crumb of titty?
Yeah, like...
May I have some titty, lady?
Yeah. I like how you covered your mouth like it was scandalous.
No, it's my teeth.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, so those are like the big ones that deal with like mental illness. Repulsion did not like it because of Roman Polanski, and like it was really. It's from the '60s, so it's not that great. Kotoko was great. Images was good, but it's very problematic because it's dated.
Yeah.
A Page of Madness is madness because it's a silent film, but there are no cutaways to text. So, you know, in silent films, it's like, oh, there's like the
so
scene,
it's like,
and they like do pantomimes and stuff, and then it cuts to a black screen with text. So there's none of that in this. So we had no idea what was going on.
So it's just an hour and a half of silent footage with like orchestral music kind of setting the tone.
And then us just trying to figure it out together.
Yeah, no, it's like you have to like decipher it for yourself. Like it's pretty nuts.
And we got most of it right.
Yeah.
And then we Wikipedia'd it right after we watched it, and we got most of it right. But yeah, it was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But the people in this 1920s Japanese silent film in a insane asylum were treated better than the people in Images and Repulsion and Kotoko. So, great. It's mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, Sean, what were our double feature Saturdays games this year?
So, first one was Werewolf of London and the Wolfman, because it was no, that wasn't a full moon. That was the Thursday. But yeah, essentially, yeah, because October has had two full moons. A lot of our double features were revolved around werewolves and werewolf adjacent material.
Yeah. We talked about werewolves.
Yeah. So the
werewolves.
Out of here. So the first one was Werewolf of London and the Wolfman. I don't remember why, but I did not watch those.
Yeah. So the thing about werewolf movies is that there are like one or two from the silent era, but they're completely lost films. What's interesting is like the vast majority of silent films are completely gone because they were never like brought into like the modern like formats, which is why a lot of the VHS movies that we grew up with need to be made into like DVDs and Blu-rays. But yes, like, so there were a few werewolf movies before Werewolf of London, but they're literally lost forever. There's no way to watch them. So Werewolf of London is technically like the OG werewolf movie, and it's terrible. There's a reason no one talks about it. And so that was a double feature. I watched that with my friend Clement, who I mentioned earlier. And then we watched The Wolfman that everybody knows, the 1941 Universal movie. And it was better. But yeah. And then, so we had 3 different werewolf double features. We had, the one after that, we had Teen Wolf for a little bit of comedy. And then 1994's Wolf with Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer and James Spader, and that one was awesome. So good. You watched that one, right?
Which one?
Wolf.
Yeah. I watched in and out of it.
What did you think of it, from what you saw?
From what I saw, it seemed like a genuinely good movie. It seemed like Jack Nicholson was... Wait, this is the one with Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page here. But yeah, that was a good movie. Jack Nicholson really poured his heart and soul into it. I want to make Jack Nicholson as a furry jokes, but like I don't know, it seems too easy. Mainly because he, like, from what I remember, he like was actively trying to get that movie started for several years. So it's like,
yeah, I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a good movie.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, it's Jack Nicholson as a werewolf. That's. I mean, just eyebrows for days.
Eyebrows for days.
And
mutton chops, but, like, he's a lot older in the movie, like, you know, than he is in The Shining. It's like 13 years after The Shining, he made The Shining, and he's like bigger, but he has to do all this like physical stuff because he has to fight someone, and it's very funny the way that it's choreographed. But it's a really good movie, and Michelle Pfeiffer is so sexy. Oh my god, she's so sexy in that. Wait, Hotline Miami, what are you saying what to? Huh?
I think to the concept of Jack Nicholson as a werewolf.
Yes. Yes, there's a Jack Nicholson werewolf movie, if that's what you're talking about. But no, it's a very, very good one. So you were here with me with that, and we watched it with your mom and Clement. And your mom had seen the movie when it came out back in the day, and she did not like it. She said you and her and your dad laughed at it.
Yeah.
And now watching it a second time with us made her appreciate it, which is like, I like that. And then our final werewolf double feature was today. What were those movies?
We skipped over a double feator.
We're talking about the werewolf ones.
Oh, we're talking about the werewolf ones? Okay.
Because it's 3 parts of werewolves.
So...
Jack Nicholson, sorry.
you came back to Jack Nicholson first. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, we're just gonna leave that no context. It's fine. So our last werewolf double feature was first An American Werewolf in London, which
like the quintessential werewolf movie.
Yeah,
everyone agrees. Like horror fans, non-horror fans, it is like the pinnacle.
I still have questions about it, but they're honestly just dumb semantic questions. So, okay, I'm gonna talk about those now. So, there's a big thing in it.
I need to get a drink.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. Yeah, every single time that the werewolf kills somebody, their soul is forever cursed to be like the living dead. So like only the werewolf can see like them floating around still being living dead or whatever the fuck. But yeah, whoever they kill like is like living dead and they can float around, and the only way they'll be set free is if the wolf bloodline is severed. Which like I can get behind that idea. Like it kind of gives like a sense of urgency to it and stuff like that. But like I want to know the rules to it. So okay, people that he directly mauls. Okay, I get it. They come back as the undead. He can see them. They haunt him. I get that.
We see that early on.
Yeah, we see that early on. Like, that makes sense. But, like, what about people that he doesn't directly kill? Like, for instance, so, during the final scene, he causes absolute chaos through the streets of London. There's, like, 30 car crashes on one street, which seems bananas to me. But ignoring that, we see several people get crushed by cars, get trampled to death, which you could arguably attribute to him. But he's not directly causing it.
I say nay.
Okay, but it's like I'd argue that they should still haunt his ass. But it's like what like there has to be like a firm line. Like I guess it has to be like direct contact. I feel like you gotta get like scratched by the werewolf for it to count.
Yeah. I mean, like...
But it's like, what? One dude gets, like, thrown out of a bus and then run over by a car specifically because the bus driver got spooked by the werewolf. And personally, I'd argue, just because that's a really shitty way to die, that he should be able to haunt the werewolf's ass, but I understand that the
Sean,
rules of the werewolf might not merit
Sean, in Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World.
Okay.
The Lost World Jurassic Park. At the very end, when they're in San Diego, when the car goes into the Blockbuster, are the people in the Blockbuster that are hit by the car, were they killed by the T-Rex or the car?
I feel like that's a philosophical question. Anyway, let's move on. We're getting too deep into this. And so anyway, the other movie in our Halloween werewolf double feature today was Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, which was okay. It was okay. It featured, like, there were, like, I think they did it, like, 4 solid times where it was... So essentially the whole thing is, Shaggy gets turned into a werewolf, and he'll be a werewolf forever unless he wins this car race against a bunch of other monsters. Because apparently, and I had never known this, Bailey, you've watched a lot of Scooby-Doo. Is it canon that just Shaggy is just an incredible race car driver? Just like top of the line, NASCAR level, just impeccable race car driver. Like, is that just firmly established canon that I just constantly missed out on?
No.
Okay, cool. So I'm not losing my mind.
Well, it's also like the only movie where he like has like a girlfriend who wants it. And
also, her name is insane.
So her name is Googie, but they kept
I thought it was
changing
Gooby.
No, they kept saying different things, and Clement said that too, because he thought at first it was Kooky, and then it's like, no, it's Googie, and then I kept hearing Oogie.
I kept hearing Gooby.
Yeah, well...
Like the Canadian movie that despite costing millions of Canadian taxpayer dollars, only made $4,000 domestically. And by the way, it stars Hagrid from Harry Potter. It's hilarious. Gooby. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. It's insanity.
Yeah, and she wants Shaggy's Scooby snacks. It's an 80s Hanna-Barbera movie. It's in its own little world.
But anyway, so my big thing is that it's like, so like the last bit is they're doing the race, and once again, Shaggy's just an incredible race car driver, and also his car is like 80 Deus Ex Machinas in one. It's insanity. But
it's Doraemon's pocket.
It's essentially, he's got Doraemon's fourth dimensional pocket, but it's a car. Like, they apparently prepared for the contingency of running into a King Kong-esque character, which
is a very racist character in the movie.
Oh, it's named Genghis Kong. Yeah, it's not hiding it. But anyway, there were like 4 different times during the race where they mention all the other car drivers in their racing positions doing wacky things like punching and slapping each other in the middle of the race, and then it ends with, but way ahead of them is that hot boy Shaggy. And like, it happens 4 times. Just every time they're doing the recap, and then it ends with, very specifically, and there's like sexual compliment then Shaggy. Like, it was weird. Like, I get reusing footage because animation costs money, but just like after a certain point it gets silly.
Yeah, and you can tell like that movie's budget is like, animation budget is like nothing.
Oh yeah, no, they probably had a budget of like $20, and they just worked the shit out of like one guy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I like it because I love Scooby-Doo, but I actually just watched Ghoul School, and Ghoul School is way better. I think because it's newer. But it's fun. It's really fun.
Like Amy, yeah. It was straight up like, and here comes that sex master Shaggy. Yeah, like absolutely.
Yeah. Vanapira always wanting that.
Oh no, she wanted that werewolf dick hard.
Yeah.
Like, she was thirsty for that werewolf dick. It was crazy.
Thirsty. Here we go. And yeah, like I super enjoyed it. It was really fun. It's probably like the weaker of like the Scooby-Doo like movies. Like Zombie Island's pretty good.
Oh yeah, Zombie Island.
School's great. I just watched Ghoul
I think
School.
Zombie Island is my favorite.
Yeah. And then there's the one with the Hex Girls, But Sean,
Huh?
You're the one who picked that movie.
Yeah.
Because you had a choice between Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf and then the Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman. And you picked Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, because I would rather McFucking hang myself than actually willingly watch an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
But that one's really good because Theodore becomes a Wolfman and he saves Eleanor. It's really good.
No, so I'm just, next time we watch an Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, I'm going to actively challenge you to watch a version where they actually turn up all the Chipmunks' voices to their actual, like, non-tuned up versions.
So turn it down?
Yeah, just turn all of their voices down.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I know what they do.
They're terrible singers. They're not good.
Yeah, I know. Think I care? Paolo lip syncs in the Lizzie McGuire movie, too. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So... one of the reasons we wanted to do werewolf movies, like a bunch of them, is all the werewolf movies we've done so far in the last 6 years have not been that great. Like, only
and
like
this
maybe
continued
2.
the trend.
No, there were good ones, but like, I still hold that most werewolf movies are bad, and the best ones center around women.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I still contend that Ginger Snaps is the best werewolf movie. American Werewolf in London is pretty good. It's very good. I don't like that the director is a murderer, but that's whatever. It's Hollywood.
I mean, Underworld's pretty good. I mean, technically they're lichens, but...
That's the same thing, lycanthropy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's very interesting about the werewolf thing is, so each movie, so Werewolf of London, The Wolfman, Wolf, and An American Werewolf in London, they all have a different symbol for the wolf that either triggers the wolf or suppresses it. So in Werewolf of London, literally, you become a werewolf if you have this, like, Tibetan moonflower. And that was, like, completely made up from nothing. And then you had the Wolfman.
Well, I mean, Tibet's got all that kinky shit.
I think...
Everyone knows that.
Okay. And so, you, like, 6 years later, you have the Wolfman, which is, like, the pentagram is the sign of the wolf, which is nonsense. Pentagrams have nothing to do with wolves. But,
It's just a really easy way to draw a star.
With a circle. But no, it has nothing to do with wolves, but they made that up for the movie. All these movies are based off of nothing. Like, truly. And I think I've said this a few times, like, in public, on YouTube. And, and...
Just get the plug in there now. Just get it out of the way.
Anyway, no. So,
Anyway.
I lost my train of thought because of you.
Then obviously it wasn't that important. Let's keep moving.
Oh, no. So, the werewolves in Twilight are more true to actual legends of werewolves. And those aren't even, like, real werewolves. They were shifters. They just happen to look like wolves. Yeah. So, so Wolfman had the pentagram. Wolf, they gave him, Jack Nicholson, a necklace to suppress his wolf powers. And, like, he has to rip it off to save Michelle Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer.
And then, again, in American Werewolf in London, when they're in the little
pentagram.
pub, it's not a pentagram, it's just a 5-point star. Those are different.
Yeah. But yeah, pentagram's upside down, isn't it?
No.
Yeah. Whatever.
Pentagram is where it's just a star, 5-point star in a circle.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, and the one in American Werewolf in London, it's
just a star, and that's what they have on the pub the wall of the pub to protect everyone in the pub from the werewolf attack.
It's got spooky candles on it though, so yeah. Bonus points.
But it's so interesting how so much of, like, werewolf lore in movies is just made up shit that they gotta wear. Like jewelry. Like, it's interesting. But yeah, I still contend that Ginger Snaps is the best werewolf movie because it's about women. Yep.
Yeah.
What were some of our other Saturday double features, Sean?
Oh, well, first two, which I did not see because I was airsofting, which I do not regret in the slightest because we essentially played a big old game of Among Us, but in real life, with music in the background. That was the theme from John Carpenter's The Thing. That was fun as all hell, no regrets. But anyway, the movies we watched were I Married a Witch and The Witches of Eastwick. Eastwick? Yeah,
Yes.
that was the first one.
Which also stars Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Huh.
But about 7 years earlier.
Huh.
Yeah. I really like Witches of Eastwick. It's super fun. If I were one of the 3 Witches of Eastwick, I would be the Cher witch. And then Alex. And then I Married a Witch is from 1942. It's a Veronica Lake movie. And it is so charming. I loved that movie.
Huh.
And, like, Clement watched it with me as well. And we were both like, man, this would have been our favorite movies if we were, like, kids around this time.
Yeah.
And I think you would actually really like it. It's it's super charming. And so the whole premise is this, there's a witch and her father. He's also a witch. They are hung.
Could you
Or-
hear me, Kitty?
Oh, he's sleeping.
Yeah, I want him to be sleeping.
They're basically put to death in Salem, 400 years earlier, whatever, 300 years earlier, and they're confined to a tree, and they're like smoke. And then they, like, in the 20th century, they break out of the tree, and the dad befits them both with bodies. And they're, like, meant to curse this family. And so the daughter, witch, she's like, oh, I cannot wait to ruin this man's life, ha ha ha. But it's like the dialogue's super cute like that, like really like fun macabre. And then she wants to make him miserable, so she's like, I'm gonna make him fall in love with me, and then I'm not gonna marry him. But she accidentally drinks the love potion, so she falls in love with him, and is trying to convince him to marry her. But it's so freaking cute.
Oopsie, she made a little fucky wucky.
Yeah, and it was the inspiration for Bewitched.
Huh.
And I Dream of Jeannie. So, yeah, great movie. I think it's on archive.org. That's how I watched it. I suggest you watch it, Amy, if you're still watching this. But yeah, every year we have a special Saturday double feature dedicated just for me and one for you. I'm very much myself into like witch stuff and witchcraft, so I always do a witchcraft Saturday about magic and witches. And Sean has his zombies. So, Sean, what were your zombie double features this week?
So this year we watched Train to Busan, the Korean zombie movie, and Diary of the Dead. So first, Train to Busan, which is a Korean one where essentially it's like it was a genetics lab. Anyway, zombies show up, or zombies happen because of factory or something, and so these people are on a train trying to get to the major city of Busan because it's like, oh, one of the last strongholds left. And then, oh, there's zombies on the train. They got to make it to a different train. Lots of trains and zombie-related activity. And so it's a genuinely good movie, but just based on what happens in the movie, so much of it could have been avoided if characters wear gloves. So many people get bitten right on the hand And just, if they had worn gloves, it would have been peachy keen. Like, first off, one character, he wraps up his forearm, he wraps up his whole arm in tape, but he leaves the hand exposed, and to the surprise of nobody, the hand gets bit.
Yeah. And
then, at the end of the movie, a character has to stop this zombie, and his strategy to stop, first off, pretty tired, fat, lazy-looking zombie. His strategy to stop the zombie, I'm going to use Bailey as, so pretend Bailey is the zombie in this situation, is to go like this.
My lipstick.
Yeah, but you can immediately see the flaw in the logic there. But if he was wearing some thick gloves, no problemo. Just, so pro tip, if the zombie apocalypse rolls around, just get some thick gloves. You'll be fine.
Well, that's like a throwaway scene in The Walking Dead. Remember where the guy makes himself like a duct tape jacket to protect himself, and all the other people are like making fun of him, and he's like, it works.
Yeah, just put on some gloves or something. I don't know.
Please say psych.
Yeah. But several characters get bit on the hands, and it's just wear gloves. So that's my takeaway from Train to Busan, is just get some good gloves.
I really enjoyed, like, zombie movies are not my thing. They squeak me out. But Train to Busan was definitely squeaked me out. Like, I was super, like,
You're just committed to squeak me out, aren't you?
I was so anxious the whole time. Which means it was pretty good. But I think it was very, very well done. Like, the whole thing of, like, them being on a train.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Also, that train conductor was a real ride or die motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, he was the real MVP of that movie.
Yeah.
Just absolute unit, that madman.
What did you think of Diary of the Dead?
Diary of the Dead. So I like most George A. Romero movies, but this movie, it tried having a serious tone, but then it also had a deaf Amish man who throws around dynamite, and then his he ends up having like a major sacrifice where he saves everyone, and so he gets bitten while trying to get on the bus. And the way he stops the zombie is he takes a scythe, which is it's a tool that is meant to cut grain. It is meant for cutting and slicing. It is bad at stabbing.
Grass.
I want this to be firmly established. It is not a stabbing tool. It is a slicing tool. And with that in mind, he takes the scythe and he stabs himself through the head.
Oh, yeah.
And through the head of the zombie. Which, first off, pinpoint accuracy for a thing that is behind you. And second off, why? So it was like it was trying to take itself seriously, and then also threw in dumb shit like that. And so it was just like, oh, cool. Like, I guess it's just going to be all over the place, this one. It just... Yeah. So that one was a bit of a letdown just because it was kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty middle of the road, especially for George A. Romero. It was, and the whole premise was like, it's D-Day, Z-Day, zombies are coming, and there are people who want to document it, like they're film majors. And
well, it's just the one guy, really.
Stop. Hello, Jake. And yeah, so I could definitely. I saw a lot of my old like visual journalism friends, colleagues, classmates in that movie. Like really, like I need to document everything. And yeah, it was good. It was very middle of the road.
Yeah.
It was Romero's second to last movie, actually.
Yeah, but yeah, it I wish it would have picked a tone. Because, yeah, you can either try to play it seriously, like you can try to do a not shitty version of, oh my god, I'm forgetting, World War Z. I'm not talking about the Brad Pitt one, I'm talking about the book. Like, they could have, like, they can either do, like, a serious found footage sort of movie, or you can have Dynamite throwing Death Amish. Like, you can't really have both. Yeah.
Oh, so Amy just mentioned The Crazies. Yeah, so I haven't seen The Crazies. So you're talking about the remake they did 10 years ago or so?
With Timothy Olyphant. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually a remake. That was a Romero movie, too.
Yeah.
That was one of his like really early movies. It's a very interesting premise. I think you'd actually like it. But yeah, Crazies.
Right. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we'll give it a check out next year.
Put it on the long, long, long list. So, those were all of your zombie movies. We did watch a few other zombie-esque movies throughout.
Zombie adjacent.
Throughout the whole thing. So, tell us about what you thought of those. Because you're the zombie guy.
So, which ones were those specifically? I'm looking through the list again. I'm not really seeing any specifically. I mean, are you talking about the cannibal ones?
Oops. I'm trying to plug in the thing.
Oh, you're trying to find a way to segue. Okay.
No, I'm... What?
But yeah, no, like what, Texas Chainsaw? That doesn't really count.
Am I just, like, misremembering?
Yeah, I think you kind of are. Because, yeah, there weren't really any other zombie ones other than those two.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Does that count? I mean, I guess that kind of
Yeah.
counts. Sorry, I because of the way it ends, I view that more of like an environmentalist movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not going to lie, I kind of completely forgot about the zombies.
Yeah, Vampira.
Yeah, no, she is in that movie for all of 10 seconds. You hyped that movie to all hell, being like, oh, it's the only movie with Vampira in it. It's such a good movie. I can't wait to see it.
I did not say it was a good movie. I said it was a shit movie. It's like a notoriously bad movie.
You hyped the hell out of it.
I hyped Vampira. In this house, we stand Vampira.
She was in it for like 15 seconds.
She was in it for 2 minutes. I've seen the YouTube videos, the supercuts.
And so she's in it for all of 2 minutes, and she does this.
Yes, she does. Better than anyone ever could.
She doesn't even talk.
Because the dialogue was so bad.
So
So yeah, Plan 9 from Outer Space. What was that one about, Sean?
oh my god. Okay, so zombies start coming back from the dead. Basic, like, oh, everyone's spooked. Like, oh, that guy was dead yesterday. Why is his grave empty? Oh, hey, there's the guy. Holy shit, he just killed another person. And the cycle continues a couple times. And it turns out that aliens are bringing people back from the dead because they're trying to stop humanity. It's so complicated.
The aliens heard about the atomic bomb and they're like, they learned how to split the atom and they immediately destroyed, like...
Yeah, they learned how to split the atom.
Nagasaki and Hiroshima. What? So the aliens have been trying to contact the
world.
The world governments. How very American of me to say. And no one's responding at all. So now they have to go to Plan 9. Plan 9 is to basically force the governments to take them seriously because they're trying to save us.
Yeah.
And everyone else.
So it essentially boils down to these aliens being like, you humans are fucking idiots. Like, you...
No cap.
Yeah, no. You learned how to split the atom, and your immediate thought was, let's blow the shit out of some other people. Like, you cannot be trusted with higher levels of technology, because if you continue down this path, you will destroy the universe. And guess what? We're a part of it, fucko. And with all of that in mind, the aliens lay this out perfectly. They have this very clear...
But they're very rude.
Yeah, they're a bit of a dick in explaining...
You guys are idiots!
No.
Americans don't take it lightly to that.
Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly admit he was a bit of a dick when he was explaining how the entirety of humanity kind of needs to, like, slow it down with all the murdering and the technological advancements in regards to murder. But after he lays out the reason why they're doing all of this, which I'm going to just say again, very sound logic. Like, he was like, you are developing technology so fast that you don't even understand it, you're just using it. And we as the audience are supposed to side with the detective who, upon hearing all of this, whose first reaction is just to fucking sucker punch the aliens. Like, we're supposed... Oh, so Lacey, we're talking about the movie Plan 9 from Outer Space, where, essentially, aliens come to Earth and are desperately pleading with us because they learned that we made the atomic bomb. And they're like, hey, if you continue down this path of war, you will destroy the universe, and we don't like that. So please just listen to us and heed our warnings. And humanity's first response is to sucker punch the messenger. And we're supposed to side with the humans on that one. Yeah. No, in 2020, the aliens were 100% right. We should be wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah. We are also, Lacey, and those of you joining us now, we're talking about our Spooktober month, about the movies we watched, the ones we loved, the ones we hated, and just, like, it's really late here in Japan, and...
Oh, yeah, it's like almost 1 a.m.
We didn't get to, we don't get to go party, we don't get to go to karaoke, so this is
So we get to rant at strangers on the internet. This is our outlet.
In our costumes, and it's pretty fun. But yeah, so we're just talking about our Spooktober movies. And right now we're talking about Plan 9 from Outer Space, which inspired this costume. Yeah.
Oh, so favorite new discoveries from this year. That's actually a good segue.
We were going to get into that. Thank you, Jake. So, Sean, you may go first.
Probably my, I guess I'll call it the dark horse. Just the one I did not expect to enjoy in the slightest, but I ended up absolutely loving. Was the movie from 1928 called The Man Who Laughed.
Or, no, it's The Man Who Laughs. I messed up.
Oh, yeah, The Man Who Laughs, which is a 1928 silent movie that was actually the inspiration for the Joker.
The visual inspiration.
Yeah. So that movie, it's about this, it's about this person who, as a child, was mutilated, forced surgery, so that his face is in a permanent smile. So his face is forced into a permanent smile, and so he's in this circus who just parades him around as the Man Who Laughs.
And he gets laughed at, and he there's a baby he saved when he was a child. The baby's blind. They get taken in by a circus man. We don't know what he does, but he's just with the circus.
I think he's just like the ringleader.
He's the screenwriter.
Yeah.
He's the playwright.
But
he's the philosopher.
So just
she's in love with him. He thinks that he's not good enough for her because everyone laughs at him for being the man who laughs.
But yeah, so just to be perfectly clear, they're not mistreated in this circus. They're actually treated very well, and the other members of the circus treat him like family. And the ringleader is very genuinely nice guy.
It's kind of like a circus. It's like
a
traveling show.
Yeah, it's like a traveling show. And yeah, so just because it was a little unclear when you were talking about it, so early on in the movie, the mutilated kid who's constantly smiling, he saves this baby he finds out in the frozen tundra, literally frozen in his.
The mom's already dead.
Yeah, in his frozen dead mother's arms, he saves this baby. And so, and like cut to like 15, 20 years later, and the baby he saved is this blind girl who is in love with, so like, so the boy and the baby he saved turned into this love-struck couple. Yeah, and so she's blind, he's permanently
it
smiling.
turns out he is like the son of a lord, and he's inherited some land, and important people are trying to find him. And it's based off a Victor Hugo book, and the book, of course, is devastating, but the movie is really beautiful. It's so great, and it's definitely not a horror movie.
Yeah, it's not a horror movie. I'd still argue it's a Halloween adjacent movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a horror movie, but it's genuinely good. Like, I was surprised at
we were
how
both
good it
like
was.
blown away, and we were both like, oh my god, we were so invested in like the love story too.
Yeah.
And like, man, if they die, I'm walking.
Yeah. Gonna protest this almost 100-year movie.
Yeah. But it's a very great movie, and I think we watched it we just found it online. Like,
I think it was on YouTube.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. The other movie I loved was my number one movie that we watched that was brand new was Mandy. Mandy fucking takes the cake. Mandy is the best thing I've seen in ages. Because it's like exactly all of my interests from high school. Like heavy metal magazine.
I was gonna say it just felt like a live action attempt to recreate heavy metal. Like, that's what it felt like to me.
But what's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying that's just how it felt to me.
Oh man, I would have laughed too, Mandy. It's okay. It's okay that they burned you. I would have laughed. I would have gotten burned too. I would have laughed so hard. This guy's like showing me a song about him and his cult. And it's just like, and then he just shows his dick. I'd laugh too. Yeah, Mandy is amazing. Amy, you're right. You told me it was great, and you were right. Yeah. Mandy is so good. Nicolas Cage is. I mean, he's rarely bad in a movie.
Yeah, no,
I would have to say
he bursts out the rage cage.
Yeah, and it's been a while since you've said that too. Yeah. Amy, you made me super excited for it because I was like, from the description, I thought it was going to be like something else, and I was very excited when I saw that you liked it. But no, I'm
not gonna lie, the first 20 minutes of it, I almost fell asleep, and then it just kicked it straight up to 11. Like, it was just like I was just like, oh wow, this is not the direction I thought it was gonna go at all.
Yeah.
And it went there.
Yeah, I mean, I was led to believe that it would be, like, basically their serene, beautiful life together was, like, 5 minutes and then right cut to, like, the craziness. And I was really worried about that, but I'm very glad it wasn't like that. Yeah, that was a great scene when he's in. So, I would scream, Amy says, I too would scream in the bathroom in my underwear. Yeah, I mean, you just watched your wife get burned to death. And you go in your bathroom. They take off your shoes and your pants.
No, I think he was just. I think
he just sleeps like that.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they took him off. I think he was just already like that.
He's just already like that. He gets the vodka, chugs it,
and
screams,
pours it over.
Cries. Like, what a great actor.
Yeah.
What a is he a good guy? I don't know. But he entertains us. But, no, it's a really great movie. And, like, I love the whole thing with, like, the bikers. And it was really interesting how the movie goes back and forth between, like, this is so supernatural. Or, no, these are just drugged out people. And kind of towed that line.
Yeah.
Great movie. My favorite movie of the whole time. Also... Clue.
Yeah, Clue was really surprised. I was really surprised at how
that was our first time watching it, and we were both like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, no. Like I watched it, and I was I was like, "Wow, it's a movie based on a board game. This is gonna be just phoned in and horrific." And it's like, "Oh wow, it was not. it was well done.
Somewhere out there, Alexander Bevier is like, they're talking about games!
But yeah, no, Clue...
Clue's the tits. Clue is great.
I really hope that they, like, either do a re-release or outright remake it, and specifically do what they did with the original, which was they have, like, 3 different endings, and depending on what theater you go to, it will show you a different ending, so everyone on the internet will argue about it. Like, I really want them to do that again.
Yeah, no, they are remaking it.
Okay, well, they better do the whole 3 ending thing.
I don't want there to be a remake, though. I think, like, it's so great how it is.
Yeah.
Like, and it, like, what's great about it is, like, the premise makes it so unique. How can you make something, like, the same but different from that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like lightning in a bottle. It's so well done. And yeah, Tim Curry's the best part. He's fully the best part.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I think I wrote this in my Letterboxd review, but in my mind, the movie ends right after the gay man saves the day. He's the gay man that saves the day, and that's how it ends. He's not gonna go home and fuck his wife.
Yeah, no, like, God.
Much bad!
No, I find that hilarious how they just shoved that in right in the last 5 seconds so that the Christian moms wouldn't get upset.
Well, it's 1985.
But yeah,
so
no, like, they went
Reaganomics.
They went the entirety of the movie with, you know, solid homosexual, main character. They went, like, 99 of the 100 minutes. They're like, and, like, everyone was on board with it. And then in, like, the last 10 seconds, they just shoved it in as, like, now to go home and make love to my wife.
Who is a woman.
Like, motherfucker. Like,
but the thing is,
the movie, that didn't happen. I agree. It just didn't. It's just,
yeah.
Just cut to credits. Like, no, Bailey, that'll be the remake. That'll be the remake, is they literally just cut out those last 5 seconds.
Yeah, like, the whole movie's great. I really, really enjoyed that. Another one I really enjoyed was Mother. You did not watch it. You got home from work and I was watching it and you're like, meh. But
I think I was exhausted. Yeah, I think I took a nap.
Mother was really great. It's very contentious and polarizing, but I really enjoyed it. Like, it's very heavy-handed.
Yeah, I was going to say, based on what I heard, it sounded like it was so pretentious that it probably sniffs its own farts. But,
you smug piece of shit. But no, I really, really loved it, and I could not stop looking at Jennifer Lawrence's hair and how much she reminds me of Patty, your brother's girlfriend. Like, they look a lot alike. Patty, if you're watching, you look like J-Law.
I doubt it, but...
But yeah, like, I loved Mother, and it went with this theme that we kept seeing through these movies of, humans are the worst, and we all deserve to die. So first we had Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Well, you have to put it specifically in the mindset of, like, humans are killing the planet.
Yeah, humans are trash. We're killing this planet, and we deserve to die. Plan 9 from Outer Space. Mother, because Jennifer Lawrence's character is, like, basically Mother Earth, and her home that she has toiled over and put all her love into is destroyed by these horrible people. And then The Happening, where the plants fight back against the
which, once again,
humans.
Great premise, horrible casting.
Yeah. It was interesting, like, seeing, and these are, like, older movies, 2008, 1959.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you said older movies and then you led with 2008.
1959. Other years. Like...
You have them written right there. Look, like 1928. Like you have specific dates. You can just read them.
I forgot what I was talking about.
You're talking about dates.
But what was the third movie?
What? No, so it was...
Mother, 2017.
Yeah.
Not old. But, old enough that we were still living in the U.S. So that's pretty old. That was a lifetime ago. But no, it's like even like these like looking at how shitty like the outlook on like the human race was in 1959 to 2008 to now. And like 2008, that was like, I remember being in science class and like it was still like, well, this is probably fake, right? And it's like, oh my god, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Everybody knows shit's fucked.
So it's so clear now too, like in this last year. So I'm wondering if like we're gonna keep seeing that trend in like future ones too.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Sean, what were some ones that you had seen before, but you knew you were like gonna love, and they still held up for you?
I haven't seen any of these movies this month.
Really?
Yeah, these were all new.
Oh, so how does that make you feel?
What?
How does that make you feel to only watch movies you've never seen? Like, none of these were, like, comfort movies to you. Because a lot of them were, like, comfort movies for me.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really have a response to that.
Okay.
Yeah, like, what?
I mean, it's a simple question. Yeah, there were a lot of these that you didn't see. So the very first one we watched was Candyman. What did you think of that? That kicked us off for the whole month. 1992's Candyman.
I mean, that was a pretty shitty way for Candyman to die.
How did he die?
He got covered in honey. So first off, he got like his hands cut off. Or one hand? Was it both? One hand or both hands? One hand. One hand lopped off, which first off, by default, kind of a death sentence, unless you can like cauterize that shit. So they could have just stopped there. But no, then they covered him in honey and then let bees eat him to death, which...
Sting him.
Or sting him to death. I think they also ate him. But, like, I think it was a twofer. Also, bees don't work like that. But, like, just ignoring that. Like, they aren't attracted to honey. They make honey. So, like, why would they go after it?
Yeah.
Oh. Like, that's not how bees work.
Did you hate Candyman?
No,
Lacey wants to know what we hate. Guys, spoilers.
But, no, this is how the movie starts. This is not spoilers.
This is the 1992 one, not... The remake is not coming out yet. It's like a 30-year-old movie, Lacey.
Also, just for a frame of reference, this is not a spoiler. This is literally how the movie begins. Like, I think it's in the trailers.
No.
But, yeah, like, that's how the spooky ghost in the movie, like, becomes a spooky ghost as he died in a horrific way, and now he fucking spooks.
See, I was really worried that you would hate the movie because there's so much of it is, like, conspiracy against the white lady, the blonde lady.
Oh, yeah, so I enjoy the movie, but just the protagonist of the movie is this woman attempting to document the Candyman, and she gets
for her semiotics thesis.
And yeah, but she gets put into insane situations that implicate her in horrific crimes, but she gets put them in just like so many times and in such specific ways, it's almost cartoonish. Like, she gets placed in a bathroom covered in blood.
Well, you're getting in a spoiler.
Okay. I'll stop before I get into spoilers. But just she keeps getting put into implicating situations, and she keeps making the same mistakes over and over, and it just keeps getting into like it happens on 3 different occasions where just the cops walk in and she's like, I can explain. Like it was almost cartoonish, and it's meant to be like a serious horror movie, but it's like it's absurd.
Well, you have to understand, Candyman is orchestrating all of this
Yeah.
so that, like, there's no way she can explain it away or make it look
I
good.
understand that these are all the machinations of the Candyman, but I'm just saying the Candyman's plot is very intricate and weirdly specific.
So,
like,
Lacey says, fuck the remake. Lacey, the remake has been pushed to 2021, and it's supposed to be really good, so I don't know what you're talking about. It's like being... it's like a reimagining of the story.
I was gonna say, I could not tell if you were being sarcastic there, but apparently
No, it's I'm super excited. So Lacey, that and all of you, that is why we chose Candyman for our opening movie, because the remake was supposed to come out that month, this whole month. But then because of Corona, it's been pushed to 2021. So it's like, okay, well, let's revisit this classic horror movie with this really great horror movie villain.
Yeah.
And all his sexual tension. It's a sexy movie.
Yeah.
It was very sexy. Like, Be My Victim. Oh, yeah. Be My Victim. That was great. I loved that.
Okay, just as a side note, I feel like it is a severely missed opportunity that in the closed captions they did not write B-E-E, my victim.
Be my victim.
Because he was stung to death by bees. Like that, it's right there.
Is that like the same like intonation of the genie in Aladdin when he's like, be yourself?
Yeah.
And he's little bee.
yeah. But yeah, no, the Candyman, like he was stung to death by bees. Like, just be my victim. Like, come on, they could have given me that.
Well, I mean, he's not Jason Todd, the Red Hood. He does not take on the mantle of his oppressor, of those bees that killed him.
I mean, yeah, I still love that fun fact about there's one scene that involves bees, and the actor who plays Candyman put a specific clause in his contract that he'd get $1,000 for every time he was stung, and he ended up getting like what, $23,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of money.
Yeah, he got a lot of money because bees didn't like him.
That's a smart man. But while Lacey is here, so last night. So today, well, shit. Okay, it is 1:15 a.m. for us, Sunday, November 1st. So we are closing off our Halloween the Friday. So for us,
2 days
last night, Friday the 30th, Lacey, I watched Climax. Sean watched the beginning. He couldn't do it because
I was the first half hour or so. Sorry. To begin with, we could only find a version of it that was in native French with Japanese subtitles.
Yeah. So we rented it from a rental shop here in Japan because it's like, oh, it's here. It's only like $1. Let's rent it.
And then
it was too late.
So we started watching at like 11 p.m. and just me sitting there and translating the Japanese subtitles, because we don't fucking speak French, like, it was exhausting. And so, because the first, like, 30 minutes of the movie are just characters laying down exposition and just having casual chats with each other, I fell the fuck asleep.
He did. He fell asleep.
I fell asleep. Like, I just went to bed. Like... And
you were also really I do not want to sit here and like have to translate this, not only for you, Bailey, but for myself. I don't want to have to translate this.
Yeah. So like if we can find a version that has English subtitles, I'm willing to give it another shot. But having to translate the entirety of the movie is just oof.
Yeah. So Lacey, I know you didn't like Lacey did not like the movie at all. So she says.
Yeah, so I only got, the only parts I saw were them drinking sangria and casually having conversations about butt sex. Yeah. That was all I got through.
So, for those who may not know, Climax is a 2018 French film, and it incorporates dance and LSD and horror. So the movie has like no real script. So basically all the dialogue is improvised by dancers.
No wonder I just fucking zoned out
and
after a certain
it's
point.
more of like an experimental film, and I think it was very, very well done.
Experiment failed.
And so the premise is there's a French dance troupe. They are having a dance party in this school that they are kind of living in, and they're just having fun. And then as the night goes on, you find out that someone spiked the sangria and put like bad LSD into it, and people start going fucking crazy, like crazy. People die. People get like raped, and like nothing is shown. It's like fully implied, and
which is a lesson that Ichi the Killer could learn from. But anyway.
Ichi the Killer could learn from. But the
let's imply that shit. Like damn.
The cinematography is incredible. The dancing is incredible, and there's one actress who starts like going into her bad trip, and she starts dancing like crazy, and it's so amazing to watch. And it's like, I've been there where I've been like drunk and like at a dance club with friends and like just going like in my own world, and it's like I couldn't imagine having a bad time doing that. Like it sounds like not a good time. But I liked the movie. So, Lacey, I want you to know I liked the movie. I'd like to know why you did not like it, but we can talk about that later. Alone. On Letterboxd. But yeah, so I really, really liked Climax. I think everyone should watch it. I would like to watch it again with actual like subtitles I can read, because I was basically it was basically a Japanese reading lesson for me, reading all the Japanese subtitles. But I was the one who was like, "Oh, Sean, they're talking about anal." So
yeah, no. Well, I was nodding off at that point, and so I opened my eyes like, "Yep, that's butt stuff." And I was like,
yeah. Yeah, it was bleak, but like, I mean, I'm okay with bleak. Like, one of my favorite movies is Never Let Me Go, which is bleak as hell. Okay, yeah, I will read your Letterboxd review. I started reading it. I was like, wait, no, I gotta watch it first. Now I will read it. So yeah, so are there any other movies we've missed? I feel like we're kind of coming towards the end.
Texas Chainsaw.
Oh yeah, so we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
A lot of chainsaws happening in Texas.
I thought it was great. Okay, Chop Top is bae. I think I tweeted that, but like,
stop kicking that.
Bill Moseley as Chop Top was amazing. He was the one in like the bad Sonny Bono wig.
Yeah.
And he's the one who kept saying, "Dog will hunt."
Yeah.
Dog will hunt. What did you think of it?
I went in fully knowing it was just going to be bonkers violence, and I was not disappointed. That's the entirety of my review.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
Like, we had fun watching it. And I loved the like final girl heroine in it. She was great.
I just like how that one character, like, who had his face peeled off, like, his last line was just, "Shit."
Oh, yeah! I forgot it.
And then she just, like, spends, like, 30 seconds putting his face back on.
Oh, yeah. That was... Aw. That was nice of her. Okay, and then we watched... Yeah. So one of the movies I watched alone, not you, was My Friend Dahmer, which is about
Lacey
Jeffrey Dahmer, and it was recommended by Destiny, our friend, and it was good. It was very average. I had to read a lot about Jeffrey. I don't know that much about him, so I had to read a lot to actually like get like, whoa, the spookiness of it. It's worth watching, and the acting's really good, but. It's kind of more for, like, people who are really into, like, serial killers and, like, true crime stuff. Which, you know, I'm very, like, neutral on that sort of thing. But worth watching. And then The Invitation, you did not watch that, but I did. And the director of The Invitation directed Jennifer's Body, which we did watch. So, what did you think of Jennifer's Body? And then I'll talk about The Invitation.
I mean, it's very heavily dated at this point. Like, all of the terminology and all that.
Boy, oh my god, yeah.
Like, it is dated so hard. Like, it feels like a time capsule to, like, specifically 2009.
I moved through space and time watching that movie. It came out 2009, the year I graduated high school.
Like, yeah,
and
no,
I was in Enumclaw High School listening to people talk like that.
Well, yeah, no, like, it is, like...
I'm from Enumclaw.
So, no, just, like, a lot of movies you can kind of get a feeling for the time era that they're meant to be in. You know? But it's just... This movie, Jennifer's Body, is aggressively 2009. Like,
I think it's a good movie. It was good, though.
No, it's a good movie, but just, it is, like, forcefully 2009. Like,
I think, so, you know the writer?
No.
So, the writer of the movie is the writer of Juno, Diablo Cody.
Oh, cool. I haven't seen the movie either, so.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, like, her dialogue in Juno was, like, pretty over the top, like, quirky kind of thing. And, she's a great writer. She won the Academy Award for that. Yeah, very Diablo Cody. She won the Academy Award for Juno. And since then, she's, like, I would say each script she's done since then has gotten better and better because she's gotten older. Like, Tully. Tully, go watch Tully. That's a great horror movie. Because it's about motherhood. But, yeah, Jennifer's Body, I think it's good. I don't think it's great. It's having, like, this huge resurgence renaissance thing right now. And I get it because the marketing for it at the time was bad. But it's not like, it's not the greatest movie ever made.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, and Chris Pratt shows up.
That's my response to that.
Yeah. But no, one of my favorite bits is where they're at the bar, and they do the 9/11, like, shooters, and like, but we gotta hurry because the red, white, and blue is gonna mix, and then it turns, like, brown. Like, blood brown. That was a great bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think you should watch her other movies, though, like, especially the ones that she does now, because they're easier to kind of take down. Yeah, so the same director who did Jennifer's Body did The Invitation, which I thought was good, but not great. I got a lot of satanic panic propaganda shit from that, which is like, good. Yeah, Tully, I love Tully. Yeah. Who needs kids when you can just watch Tully and just not have kids?
Cool. Oh, we forgot to talk about the town that feared sundown. Or town that dreaded sundown.
You can talk about it. I have nothing to say about it, except that I hated it.
Okay. So the town that dreaded sundown is based on a true story about this serial killer that haunted...
Like the Moonlight Massacres?
Yeah, the Moonlight Massacres somewhere in Texas.
Texarkana.
Yeah, in Texarkana. And, so, like, it follows, you know, the detectives trying to find the killer. But throughout the entirety of the movie, there's just this one comedic relief character.
Oh my god.
And just, they make the guy just, like, a drooling idiot at every available opportunity, and it completely kills just any sort of dramatic tension that could be in the movie.
They literally do a...
Also, apparently, Bailey, you're wrong. I don't know about what, but you're wrong. You're wrong.
She'll need to explain.
No, you're just wrong. You're wrong.
I'm wrong. But no, okay, so, there's literally, like, a Dukes of Hazzard, like, ooh, let's jump over this thing and go to the water at this crime scene. No, The Town That Dreaded Sundown is boring, stupid, and not a good horror movie.
I thought it was big yawn there. I
It's
thought
not
it was
even a good movie.
I thought it was interesting mainly because it kind of showed. So first off, it's like, oh, like this actually happened, cool. But like it showed like what went down from kind of a realistic perspective, which I thought was interesting, and especially the fact that like it actually happened was interesting. But yeah, the comedy relief character, just cut that fucker out. It was not needed in the slightest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lacey, yeah, you're just wrong generally.
She would say that, but
Just generally, you're wrong.
you know, she's allowed to say that. Makes her feel better. Okay, you want to talk about The Invitation? So The Invitation deals with grief and how different people deal with grief. And there's like it's centered around a cult. Basically doing like a widespread Jonestown thing throughout LA, which is the interesting part of it because LA is so culty. Like, so there's so much haunted shit in Los Angeles. Like, for real though. Like, and that's, you know, where the Manson murders were. But no, I'm not like super interested in cult stuff, but I'm like a lot of the things I listen to and read are related to them. And the movie to me felt like it was just kind of, it felt very like in the same vein of like Satanic Panic of, oh man, there's these people, they're gonna kill you because they believe in this thing, and then people get like super freaked out about that, which like
kind of in the same vein. That's why I thought it was interesting that Mandy had exactly that, but it's like, oh, the people who did it were Christians.
See, were they?
Yeah. They literally, like, the movie ended with, like, them going into, like, their thing was.
So
in
they
a
were
Christian
talking
church.
about, well, it was in like a midsummer triangle with a cross.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I guess.
There were so many times they had the cross.
That's different because Christianity is so widespread for a reason. They did that by design, the Christians. But like,
also a lot of murders, a lot of crusades.
Yeah, a lot of crusades, a lot of, you know, conversion
I'd argue
therapy.
I'd argue too many.
But like Christianity is so widespread that having something that has like the murder cult people be Christians isn't something that is you're gonna suddenly see people dying because they're Christians.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like,
Just saying, I'm gonna stop you just for a brief moment. Just because Lacey said she still wants to be on you, and I really hope that she's saying it in the way of like Anchorman. It's like, I'm sorry.
She does.
Let me rephrase that. I want to be on you. Yeah.
No. Lacey is my homegirl. Yeah. I know what she's saying. Yeah, no, the movie is good. I thought it was really interesting, but by the end of it, I was very much like, oh man, like it was that thing of so many people are going to take this wrong. And they're not going to see what this movie is actually about, and they're going to zero in on like, oh my god, cults. They're going to come get me. They're the real problem in this country. And it's like, yeah. But I don't know if it deals with heavy stuff. I don't know if you would like it, though.
No.
But it's a good movie, like especially like towards the end. Towards the end, it's very, very good. Yeah, what other ones? Oh, Don't Look Under the Bed.
Oh yeah, the Disney original.
We watched a Disney original movie, Don't Look Under the Bed, my second favorite Disney Channel original Halloween movie, and it still holds up. It's still great.
Yeah, no, I was surprised by the quality.
And apparently it was very scary, like at the time. too. Like a lot of parents complain about to Disney, which Disney doesn't care. They got all your money. They got all our money.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't look. What is your favorite Disney Channel original like Halloween movie?
I've literally only watched this one.
Oh my god, guys! Sean didn't watch Disney as a kid.
No, I watched Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
I watched channel 40 and 42. I didn't touch 41. It was always 2 clicks. Always 2.
I am not elitist. I am an equal opportunity kid channel watcher. I watched all 40, 41, and 42.
Those 40,
You're just
42.
a hater.
I only stuck with the even numbers. I don't fuck around with those odds.
That's an odd number! Okay, yeah, so... But so far, at least for Spooktober, this is our second one. The first one we watched was 2 years ago.
Also, yes, Lacey, this does explain so much.
Under Wraps, which is my absolute favorite Halloween, like Disney Channel original Halloween movie. The one with the mummy and like, Harold the Mummy. That's my favorite. I own it on digital. Yeah. And then Don't Look Under the Bed is my second favorite. So out of those two, which one, what do you think? How do you feel about
This one's definitely better.
Why?
I don't know, it just is.
You heard it from God's lips to yours.
It's 1:35 a.m. I can't make critical decisions at this point. Like my critical thinking skills have gone out the window about a half hour ago.
Yeah, we only have a few more to talk about, so we're winding down. Yeah, no, Don't Look Under the Bed was really, really well done. I mentioned this before. I fully forgot about the leukemia thing. Like,
oh yeah, the leukemia subplot.
Yeah, I guess because I didn't know what leukemia was as a kid, it just like, I didn't even notice it at all. But yeah, Under Wraps is great. It's like romantic and like really, really fun and like kind of dirty. Like the girl in the little friend group is like, I sleep in the nude. It's like, that's like, ooh, escandalo.
It's our bed. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, well, that's because...
I sleep in the nude. I don't give a shit. Who knows?
Yeah, he does. But yeah, Under Wraps is great.
Like this is a facade. I don't wear this shit to bed. No, it's coming off when I go to bed. You gotta sleep in the nude. I
sleep like this.
Oh yeah, no. She
in full niche.
Yeah, no, makeup and all. It's all good.
No, I like Don't Look Under the Bed is so great. Most people will say that Halloween Town is their favorite. I like Halloween Town enough.
I haven't seen it.
But I don't know. There's a lot to it. I guess like the protagonist of that is not my favorite. But yeah, so Don't Look Under the Bed, great. Like that actor who plays Larry Houdini, he hasn't really done much in his career since like that time, and that's a shame because he's so talented. We also have, I think, the ones from this week. So Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Didn't see.
But we own it because that was the only way we could watch it. It's really, really, really scary. Like, nice. It's like, well, it was marketed as like something for kids because it's based off the books, which kids read. Like, I read those like in elementary school. But
the problem is that it's less based on the book and more based on the horrific imagery that is featured in the book.
It's based off stories from that book.
Yeah. Which those stories are terrifying.
But no, like, it's dark. Like, it's like PG-13. I was fully expecting it to be like a little more macabre, less horror. But like, it's pretty intense.
Well, it's Guillermo del Toro. He ain't fucking around.
He produced it. I thought he was directing it, but he just produced it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. It has like POC folk in it. Like one of them, like the love interest is Hispanic, and it deals with like Vietnam and stuff because it's set in the 60s. So yeah, like I recommend it. But like I was expecting it to be like a kids movie, and it's not. Like there's actual like really dark, like semi-gory shit in it. But it has Harold from the spooky, scary stories to tell in the dark. The scarecrow.
I just looked at the pictures.
The scarecrow who's super ugly, and the guys punch him every day because they like, fuck you, Harold, puh, tuh, and they literally just like abuse this poor scarecrow, and then the scarecrow abuses back.
Oh goodness!
And the scene where Harold gets his revenge is pretty fucked up. Like, let's take it this way. I would be worried about my niece McKenna watching it a little bit, and she's like in almost high school.
I think she is in high school.
Nope, almost high school.
Okay.
Wait, is she high school? I don't know. Sorry, baby. But yeah. And then the last movie, Alice, Sweet Alice, which you also did not watch. It's good. I think you would enjoy it. It deals with child murder. You know, we're pro-child murder in this house.
A child is murdered, and the movie begins.
The cold open is infanticide. Which it is, yeah. So the movie.
Oh my god.
The movie is about like these two sisters, Karen and Alice. Alice is older and like fucked up. Karen is like the goody younger sister, and Karen is about to go to communion, and she has her white veil, and Alice is super jealous, and then Karen gets murdered at church at her communion, and everyone blames the sister. And I did too. Like it's like kind of a murder mystery thing.
It's a whodunit?
Kind of. And there's like interesting characters, and hello, and it's it's wild. It's worth watching. I kind of fell asleep towards the end and had to like rewind. I had to like go back and like because I missed a few scenes, but it's pretty good.
You had to stick the pencil in it.
Yeah, I had to rewind it. Oh my gosh, showing my age. But it's very good. I recommend it. It is I mean, it's from the 70s. It's not going to be that gory, but and like as far as like trigger warnings, like yeah, do you see a child get killed? And the child is Brooke Shields, like the Brooke Shields in like one of her first roles. She's Karen, and then there's like a creepy guy who lives downstairs who like tries to molest Alice. But guess what Alice does to get away, which is like almost like visually almost worse. She grabs one of his kittens and like shakes it and throws it by its neck.
Oh, so she primes the cat grenade.
Yeah, and like to get him to get away from her.
Yeah.
She like kills one of his kittens, and it's
oh,
like,
she kills. I thought she was just pissing off the cat. And
when she runs away, he screams, "You killed my kitty!" And that's why the movie was banned as a video nasty in England, because of their strict animal abuse laws on film.
That's a bummer.
But yeah, like, but it's also like, it's set, like, it's kind of fucked up how that was the part where I was like, oh god, and not like him trying to like molest her. But then again, it's a movie and you actually see her grabbing the kitten's neck and almost wring it. So, you know, it's kind of like the Cannibal Holocaust thing all over again.
See, I thought, sorry, when you said that, I thought it was just she grabbed a cat, gently wiggled it to piss it off, and then threw it. No, don't do it to our cat. Don't repeat the cycle. Okay, yeah, do it with Kermit.
So,
Oh, wow.
She, like, does that with this kitten.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
But it's like the Cannibal Holocaust thing, because there's a lot of sexual assault in that movie, and a woman literally gets, like, impaled on a stake. Like, not really, but in the movie she does. And yet, the reason I hate that movie is because they actually killed a turtle and a pig and a monkey for the movie.
They killed so many animals.
Like, that's why, like, horror is a great genre, because it's like we can escape into the fantasy because none of it's real. But when it is real, it's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
I think we've now talked about every movie we watched this month.
Let me look through. I mean, we kind of glossed over A Page of Madness, but
There wasn't too much to it, and we kept going back to it.
okay.
Oh, thank you, Lacey. Yeah, so I guess so. We're just gonna wrap up now. So, we'll just say like, Sean, reiterate what was your number one favorite movie of this month?
Number one
of this year's Spooktober.
Of this year's Spooktober. I'd probably have to say a solid tie between Train to Busan and The Man Who Laughs.
Yeah, The Man Who Laughs was like right up there. I did like Train to Busan, but there were a few I liked more. Mandy was my number one. Mandy, I feel like, was very much like kind of written for me. It's very in tune with what I was into in high school.
Okay.
Like, especially, she was wearing like Black Sabbath shirts, and yeah, it's so good. It was, and so well done, and so weird, so fucking weird. Yeah. What movie did you hate the most?
Movie that I hate the most. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Ichi the Killer.
Ichi the Killer is very good. I see a lot of value in it because it has some of the most horrific violence I've ever seen. It is horrific. Not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, it's genuinely not for the faint of heart, but it's just... Yeah, I mentioned that at the beginning of this whole streaming thing. Too much rape.
Yeah, there's a lot of rape.
Excessive.
And there's a lot of abuse against women, and it's almost always sexual.
And it's all vividly shown.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is left to the imagination. You are given a front row seat. It's
really, and it's very hard to watch. Like, through, like, a lot of those scenes, I was like this. But what makes it a great movie and a valuable movie is how it ends. And the way it ends completely, like, okay, I see now why we were shown all this. Because the movie does not glorify it in any way. It does not glorify any of the violence, and it's completely clear in the ending. Because, like, there's no catharsis. There's this guy who's a sadist, and there's a guy who's a masochist. One guy, he's like compelled and manipulated and hypnotized. Check that in the Asian horror movie box trope, to do horrible things to people. And then there's a guy who loves doing horrible things to himself and loves when others do it to him. And they have like this big end scene battle, and it's nothing like you expect. Like, the guy who's a sadist starts crying and like pissing himself, and like he's like, ah!
No, he just starts weeping and sobbing on the roof of this building. This
kid starts kicking him and beating the shit out of him, and the guy who's like a masochist, who's like, yeah, this is gonna be the greatest fight ever. He's just like, dude, really? You're not gonna fight me? You've been coming after my people?
He's just straight up like, dude, come on, man.
Come on, I need this. I need you to fight me. I need you to hurt me. That's what this has been building to. And then he does it. It just doesn't happen. And there's like really no catharsis, which is kind of what can make you, how you can tell if a movie is being gratuitous or if it's being Like,
or if it's trying to make a point.
If it's making a point, and it made its point very well. I don't know if I don't know if I want to watch it again, because it's also ugly. Like, it's not a great looking movie.
It's one of those movies where you...
It's from 2001. 2001.
No, it's a movie where you recommend people to watch it exactly once and then never again. Right up there with Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah.
Just great movie. Yeah. Everyone should see it exactly once.
But like, it's good. I do not recommend it. It's for very few people to enjoy. Yeah, I get why that's like your most hated one. Like, yeah. It was so hard to watch. So hard to watch.
Yeah.
My most hated was definitely Repo, the Genetic Opera. Fuck that movie. Stupid. I don't remember any of the music. All the music sucked. Stupid. Waste of my time. Leon, if you're out there, can't believe you did that to me. Can't believe you made me watch that. But yeah. So, Sean, do you know what your favorite movie from all of Spooktobers are? That's how we'll wrap this up.
Nope.
Well, here, I'll show you mine.
Oh, sorry, never mind. Yes, I do. Number one movie of all of Spooktobers. So first off, John Carpenter's The Thing, I have to leave off because it's cheating to say that. It's cheating to say John Carpenter's The Thing. That's too easy.
No, it's not.
Then I guess John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
But that's not fair to all other movies in existence. So, I'm going to say, excluding John Carpenter's The Thing, I'm probably going to have to go with One Cut of the Dead, a.k.a. Kameno Tomenuna.
Yeah.
That movie is incredible. It had a budget of $25,000, and it did so much with it. It's incredible. They're trying to remake it, which is a horrible fucking mistake. Just watch it in Japanese. Go over that with a 1-inch hurdle of subtitles.
Do not watch any American remake of it. Do not watch any
Just watch the Japanese one.
It's perfect in Japanese.
Yeah, just watch One Cut of the Dead in Japanese with English subtitles, and fucking thank me later.
So those are your like number one, number two?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my number one...
Oh, number 3 is The Shining. Sorry.
Oh.
Just peppering that in there.
Really?
Yeah, I like The Shining.
But you didn't actually sit down to watch it till this year.
No, I've watched it before.
You had, but I watched you watch it for it was the first time you fully watched it and took it in, and then you would not stop doing the Jack Nicholson eyebrows, which I'm doing now.
But yeah, The Shining, and then American Psycho, number 4.
Yeah.
But those are mine.
Yeah, so my number one forever and always is Rocky Horror Picture Show, because it's my favorite movie. So yeah, that's cheating, because of course it's my favorite for Spooktober, because it's my favorite movie. And then The Evil Dead, OG, Ash Williams is everything. Thank you, Amy, for taking me to see the musical. And then The Thing. Those are my number 3. I have a ranking of every movie we've done. So, Sean, we have done 200 movies.
Gross.
We've done 200 movies for our Spooktobers. So, what do you think is my highest ranking movie from this year? Where does it fall in my top 100?
Mandy, 50.
Let's see. I might have changed it. So... Well, One Cut of the Dead, for me, is number...
30.
Is that... Really?
Or 25?
No,
it's 30.
Number 30. One Cut of the Dead is number 30 for me. And then, yes, Mandy is number 39 for me.
There we go.
It is my number 39 movie. That's the highest ranking of any of the 2020 Spooktober movies. Most of them are only in the top 2. Which... Most of them are on the lower end of the rung. The only ones to crack my top 100 are Mandy.
Oh, it's like Kotoko snuck in there.
Kotoko. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. And then not a lot, guys. Raw. I really loved Raw. Raw is great. Go watch Raw. Lacey, watch Raw with your sister.
I had problems with it.
Yeah. And then The Man Who Laughs. The Man Who Laughs is a beautiful movie. Everyone should watch that.
Oh man, Papa John's having the Jack-O-Lantern pizza for $11. Holy shit, I want that right now.
Oh god.
Sorry,
and then,
I'm seeing ads, and just for a frame of reference, pizzas here are about $30 for a large, and by default they come with corn and mayonnaise.
Pizza in Japan sucks. Pray for us.
Send us pizza. Send help.
Okay, and then rounding out like the top 100, Witches of Eastwick. Classic.
Those nails are getting real close to my
An American Werewolf in London. I Married a Witch. I Married a Witch is so good. And then Clue, Candyman. Yeah, those are the only ones in my top 100. So yeah. Thank you, Amy. We need that. Like pizza, they put corn and mayo on pizza here.
Well, you have to specify it's Japanese mayonnaise. It's not like...
It's Japanese mayonnaise. It's a tiny bit better.
Yeah, it's not like... what is it? Miracle Whip? Yeah, it's not Miracle Whip. They're not like spreading that shit.
Yeah.
Like it's...
So, yeah, we're just wrapping it up. Do you guys have any questions for us?
Yeah, y'all get any questions? You got about 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta get to bed. It's like 2 a.m.
Y'all got 6 minutes. Send us your questions. I will answer them in a blurry haze because I am nodding off at this point.
I'm wearing Daiso glue for my eyelashes, and it's coming off.
For a second there, I thought you were talking about your contacts. And I glued in my contacts specifically for this.
Oh, because I'm wearing these, you're going to have to take out my contacts for me.
Fucking gross.
Welcome to marriage, folks.
I'm going to touch your gross ass eyes with my beautiful hands.
Your beautiful hands.
Did you guys watch Host 2020 at all? Love that movie.
I don't know what that is, actually. I know The Host, which is like...
The Korean horror movie?
Yeah, which is Korean movie, and then the Stephanie Meyer, like, Twilight follow-up. Yeah. That's, like, different.
And I don't know. Also, how are we both so beautiful? Genetics. Thank you. It's genetic and unattainable.
Drag queen makeup. I'm Vampira, by the way, if you don't know.
Horror movie set in a Zoom call, basically. Better than it sounds.
Isn't that,
Unfriended?
Unfriended? Yeah.
That
sounds like else. Unfriended.
Yeah, but this one sounds better than it sounds, and I remember distinctly that Unfriended was just hot fucking trash, so...
I mean, yeah, like, we can put it...
Oh, your phone's dying.
It is dying.
There we go. Officially, the Oscar musics are queuing in to tell us to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
There we go. Like Unfriended, but better.
Yeah, we'll put that on our watch list.
Okay.
I've never heard of that. Like, so the thing about us living here is we can't really go see new movies.
Why don't you plug that into the phone?
Because of how it won't fit.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We can't really go see new movies, and we're kind of at the mercy of, like,
Pirates.
Pirates, and yeah, it's hard for us to see new movies here, but we'll put that on the watch list. Thank you. All right, we're gonna sign off.
Yeah, the phone's dying, which is
the phone's convenient. Dying. My eyelashes are here. Oh my god, that's a huge difference. Okay. All right.
So Lacey's
Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I have to say. I will save this video so people can come back to it. And I want to wish you a happy Spooktober. Please enjoy your Halloween. Be safe while doing so. And unpleasant dreams.
Later.